Hey guys, welcome back to Tango Delta 6. My name is Dave. Today we're going to do a review of the Reflecto token. We've had a bunch of people asking questions in TangoCrypto about Reflecto token. It is something that we looked over before it went live for the launch, and we were participating in it and also had some fun in our chat. And we're kind of watching it go up and down in the beginning when it first came out. We've had our eyes on this token and we really like it. So wanted to do a quick review of what we've seen so far and just where we feel it's going to be heading in the future. Keep in mind, nothing that we discuss here today is financial advice, is for educational use only. You should always do your own research and understand that, especially with these low market cap tokens, there's a lot of risk involved because you never know what's going to happen as soon as they turn everything on and send it out there into the universe, right? But that's part of what the exciting piece of crypto is, that you can get in early on a token and grab a nice position with the company and then have a nice something down the road that you can enjoy for future use, and lots of reflections coming in. So that said, let's just jump right into it today. So we're going to talk a little bit about Reflecto token. Just to do a quick overview, it is an existing business. We've seen the initial AMA that was released by the company, and you can actually see a link to that in the description if you want to go back and watch. It is out there on YouTube for you to take a look at. That's where I got a lot of my information that I'm sharing with you here today. They are working with a company called iMenu, which is pretty cool. This is part of their use case. They're creating touchless menus for over 200 restaurants, bars, and hotels. And the concept is simple. When you walk in, instead of touching a menu, which could have germs and whatnot on it, you would just scan a QR code instead. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about this in the video. I've got some information on iMenu that I pulled for this video as well. The company has been audited by Nebula, and we've looked over the audit. We saw that there were no critical, high, or medium issues with the audit, which is typically good. I think there was like 3 or 4 low risk measures that were in there, things to be concerned about, but I believe it's something that has all been addressed since the company has gone live. Also, it accommodates for meta transactions, which will allow in the future for them to have gasless transactions, which is really an important critical piece about this project. Their contract, they have plans to build a DEX to support their gasless transactions in the future. They've also renounced their contract. They have plans for staking options that will come up in the future, and they have a marketing plan to get listed on several different exchanges coming up as well. I think those are all things that you can check on by going to their Discord or going to their Telegram. You can also watch the AMA, like I said before. And the exciting part, though, in why we were interested in it at TangoCrypto is it pays rewards in 3 different tokens. So let's get into that. The tokenomics behind Reflecto is pretty cool. I mean, it's really something that I love the idea of it, because it's going to pay out not only in BUSD rewards, but it's also going to pay out in Evergrow tokens and Crypto tokens. So just by holding Reflecto, you're going to receive benefits from each of these. So it's basically a next evolution, so to speak, of a Binance token that's going to pay out into multiple different tokens instead of just BUSD or just its own native token. When you hold Reflecto, you'll receive 10% rewards from every single transaction, which gets split evenly 3 ways. 3 1/3% would come in as Evergrow, 3 1/3% would come in as Crypto, and 3 1/3% would come in as BUSD. So it's going to split 3 ways, and you'll receive 3 different tokens as a result of holding Reflecto, which is pretty cool. And then another 4% of every transaction is going into their liquidity pool, just to make sure that they have enough pricing and enough liquidity available through PancakeSwap for you to be able to continue to purchase in the future. So we like to say that this is a heavy contract. I know when it first came out, there was a lot of questions. There was a lot of information in the Telegram. People were saying they couldn't sell the token. And I think it's primarily because the taxes of this heavy contract were so high that when you set the max slippage on PancakeSwap, the sell still wouldn't go through, especially if there's a lot of volume, because you're competing against everybody else who is trying to sell it. So, you know, when a token first comes out, people are scared to death about whether or not it's a real company, whether or not it's something that's going to stick around. So they may have bought it in the pre-sale and then they try to sell the token right away so they can take their profits. I put together this little slide here to kind of explain what I understand, and I could be completely wrong about this, but this is just what I've observed so far. When you send a buy into the Reflecto contract, you're saying, I want to buy Reflecto, but it's not just a one-to-one transaction. It's not just like, here, take my money, give me my tokens. It actually has to do multiple things because of all of the stacking things, mechanisms, so to speak, or the calls that are involved in the contract. You're buying Reflecto, which is what you came to do, but the reason you want to hold Reflecto is because you get reflections into the other tokens. Now, this scenario that I've drawn out here assumes that you've already got a little bit of Reflecto, so it may not be as extensive on your first purchase, but certainly if you do a buy later to unlock your rewards, this is what you will see happen. When you interact with the contract and you send a buy, it goes out and it buys Reflecto, which is a one-to-one swap. But it's also going to buy Evergrow, it's going to buy Crypto, and it has to buy a little bit of that BUSD that it's going to send back to you in the form of a reflection. So when it goes out to interact with the Evergrow contract, if you already have Evergrow in your wallet, the purchase of more Evergrow is coming from your smart wallet, which is going to tell Evergrow to also release any of your rewards that are stored up in reflections from Evergrow in BUSD. Also, when you buy more Crypto in the same regard, the Crypto contract, if you already hold Crypto tokens, is going to send you more Crypto tokens, but it's also going to release all of the rewards that are sitting there waiting for you in the form of BUSD from Crypto reflections. And then finally, when it interacts with that BUSD contract, it's going to send you more of that BUSD as well. This is actually pretty cool if you think about it, but there's so many steps involved that it costs a lot of gas. Because if you look at all these red arrows on the screen, every single red arrow is a transaction which actually incurs gas fees. So the reason we call it a heavy contract is because, yeah, of course, you got to really run about 12 calls just to do one purchase within inside of the Reflecto contract. And that's what causes it to be so expensive to buy. And then in some cases, the slippage on that, if there's a lot of volume going on, the slippage is so high that PancakeSwap just won't even execute the transaction to sell. So we found a workaround for that was to go to PooCoin.app. You connect to the Reflecto contract, so you're watching the chart, which is where a lot of us are watching the chart anyway. But if you do a fresh connection to your Wallet Connect on the PooCoin app, you can select PCS version 2, and then you can select auto slippage. Now, it's going to cost a lot of gas fees, in some cases higher than 49% if it's a busy time of the day or a lot of people are buying and selling the token. But that auto slippage feature that they allow through the trade process on PooCoin, it's about 100% of the time, 99% of the time we're able to execute a sell. You just have to be very patient and wait for it to finish. Don't click, don't speed through it, because it does take some time for it to execute all these calls and get all the tokens back into your wallet. So on day one, I did a purchase for $5.80 and the total gas fees were $8.88. So the total cost of that transaction that I sent in to Reflecto was $14.68. Now this was at least 24 hours since I had purchased my initial tokens, and there was a ton of volume. If you were watching Reflecto, there was a ton of volume in the first day, and then the second day it kind of tapered off a little bit, but was still a lot of volume going up as this token had launched. So after day one and all that massive trading, when I sent in this $14.68, here's what happened. I received $84.72 in BUSD for my $5.80 purchase. Why? I had the BUSD that was a third of the tokens reflecting back from Reflecto, but also because that money that had stacked up inside of the reflection pool had also gathered me another 3% of that volume in Crypto and 3% of that volume in Evergrow. When the contract went out and bought me more Evergrow and bought me more Crypto in order to fulfill my microbuy, it also interacted with those contracts and released all the BUSD from Evergrow, from Crypto, and from Reflecto all at once. So that totaled up to $84.72. I also received $79.85 worth of Crypto because it reinvested the rewards back into Crypto in that amount. So that's how much Crypto I had received from the reflections pool. And then with Evergrow, it was $77.81. And also, of course, as you can see, I had just purchased $5.80 of Reflecto, so I received more transactions from this as well. So my total gain on that first transaction was $248.18. And when you subtract out the cost of actually sending in the buy, my net profit on that was $233.50. 24 hours after the token had launched, I had purchased a rather substantial bag, for an open, not millions of dollars, just a couple BNB, but this is what it netted back to me at the end of the first day. I thought, hey, we're on to something here, guys, but I want to make sure that we can prove this before we do a video about it. So I waited until the next day and I did another purchase. As you can see here, $5.73, cost me $8.80 in gas fees to do the transaction. And then here was my net rewards. I got $17 in BUSD, $81 worth of Crypto, $11.96 worth of Evergrow, $5.73 worth of Reflecto by sending in that microbuy. So it was a total of $116.77 minus the initial cost of the transaction. I netted $102.24 on day 2. On day 3, I did a very small buy, and this was just this morning. It was $2.88 that I sent in just to test. It was still $8.84 in gas, so you can see it's still a heavy contract. It's going to cost a lot of gas. Total of $11.72 I spent just doing the micro buy. But the proceeds that came back were $60 in BUSD, $7.87 of Crypto, $6.95 worth of Evergrow, $2.88 worth of Reflecto, for a total of $78.44. The net gains after cost was $66.72. So here's a little bit about the iMenu process. Now this is the company that they are working with. It's kind of part of their use case. iMenu is currently working with over 200 plus restaurants and hotels. You can see here they have like a QR code on the screen. Basically the concept is you walk into the restaurant or you're sitting in your hotel and you want to order room service. Instead of flipping through all the pages that somebody else may have touched before you, could be contaminated, blah, blah, blah. But you want to use the iMenu instead, you can just scan a photo with your phone, or you have the app for iMenu on either Android or iPhone, or also the web app where you can interact through your laptop and you can actually pull up the menu on screen and then you can order using that app. Now they're using fiat as a way that you can pay, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whatever. But the future use case for Reflecto is that they're going to integrate the Reflecto token into the iMenu system, which means all of the restaurants and all of the hotels that are currently using it, and then new partners that partner up with iMenu will also be able to do their transactions, and actually you can pay for the food with Reflecto tokens. So that's a pretty cool reason to hold it, and it also will create volume, because becoming widely adopted on a menu platform like this in hundreds and hundreds of restaurants all over the world, people that hold the tokens will be interested in maybe visiting just the places that they could use Reflecto to buy a meal. So you might look at, hey, I could go to this restaurant or I could go to that restaurant. Which one has an iMenu, which one has Reflecto? And if you have Reflecto in your wallet, then you can go out to eat and you can order food, and instead of paying with fiat currency, you can pay with your Reflecto tokens out of your wallet. That's a pretty cool use case. Having that integrated into the menu would be a plus, and it's a great way to have a utility for the token long term. All right, so just a quick little update. This is a current snapshot of where we are with Reflecto. At the time that I'm recording this video, they're at a $28.5 million market cap. This is a 3-day-old token at the time of this recording, between 3 and 4 4,500 plus holders, so it's still real early. They are listed on CoinMarketCap now, so you can see the balance of your rewards in your Trust Wallet or MetaMask. Buying and selling is enabled, but like I said before, selling can be a little bit difficult. You can buy it on PancakeSwap, but you may not be able to sell it on PancakeSwap. There's some people that are able to sell it on PancakeSwap, depending on the time of the day and the slippage that they use. But I know for a fact I can definitely 100% of the time sell on PooCoin.app using their trade through the Wallet Connect. So that's something you can do. If you're worried about being able to buy and sell the token, there are ways you can do it. Also on the pre-sale, this is interesting. They did something called vesting through their pre-sale on Pink Sale. You can actually, I'll leave a link in the description to the Pink Sale so you can pull it up and read on it. They basically delivered 40% of the tokens that were bought in the pre-sale to the owners immediately, or they were able to claim right away. But then they're going to airdrop another 20% every 2 days, staggered over time, to vest their initial holders. Now, if you've been around a token and you know when they first launch, it's usually the people that join in the pre-sale, they get a really good price on the token. And then when it first launches, it goes way up in price. And then all those guys sell their tokens. These original pre-sale token holders, when they get them, they usually sell those tokens right away. Now, if they decide to do that again in the future, I don't know. I can't make a prediction about that, but I can tell you, looking back over time, the pre-sale folks sold out in the beginning, then they, had the initial dump and then it pumped up. And then when the second round of the 20% was airdropped out, they all got their tokens and they sold a bunch of them. So there was a little bit of a dip and it was a great time to purchase that token. So if you were going to look at a time to do a buy and increase the size of your bag, you might want to go over to the Pink Sale, kind of keep an eye on when that next drop is going to be, because that would be a good time to maybe watch that chart and see what it's going to do right after all those tokens get distributed. Not financial advice, but if you're thinking ahead, that knowing how human nature is kind of predictable, especially in crypto, you may want to be keeping an eye on the chart right around an hour or 3 right after all this vesting takes place. So good luck with that, and that'll be fun. But I plan on being around when those airdrops come out, because it's a great time to enhance the size of my holding with the company. If you have questions about this and how to use those features, you can always join us over at TangoCrypto on our Discord server, and we have a great room that we can chat with you and kind of help you learn how to do these transactions. And then finally, I just want to say thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking time to review the video. And I wouldn't want to leave without saying, please come by and see us over at TangoCrypto. We now are open to the public. Our Discord server is open. Also, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can get into it. And if for some reason it doesn't work, you can always reach out to me by leaving a comment on any one of my videos asking, how do I get into TangoCrypto? I'll send you the link, or you can contact me directly on any of the social media platforms, but especially Twitter. I'm also listed there as Tango Delta 6. You can DM me or send me a message. In a lot of the tweets that we have going out by all of our founders, you'll now start to see the hashtag TangoCrypto in the tweets that we're putting out when we're talking about something. If we're talking about it on the server, we put the hashtag behind it on the tweet. That way it's out there, and it's somewhere that if you want to come use us as a place that you can do some additional research, we'd be happy to help you and happy to have you along for the ride. It's been a cool first few days for TangoCrypto. We've had some celebrity guests stop by. CEO of one of our big 3 tokens dropped by and said hello the other night, actually while we were watching the Reflecto run up from the first big pump. So we've had a blast. We try to have a lot of fun. We've got a diverse group of people that are out there, and all we want to do is just get better at crypto investing, and that's the whole purpose of TangoCrypto. So we thank you for being here, and please don't forget, leave a like and subscribe on the video. You can turn on notifications if you want. I don't do videos every day, but I do like to do content on the stuff that I think you might gain the most use from. So this has been our little Reflecto token overview, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.